some lonely days, yeah. I feel so far away. I just wanna be by your side. Have your way. Have your way. Have your way in me. Good morning again to all our listeners from across the nations of the world. As I said, this is the day that the Lord has made, and we're going to rejoice and be glad in it. It is the 21st day of April, 2023, and you are here listening to me on HGG Radio. This is the Morning Flow. I'm your host, Odette Thompson, and we're getting ready to go live with our segment, Balancing on Purpose. Presently, we are actually live on Facebook and on YouTube, and I want to say welcome to all our viewers that are logging on. Indeed, it is an honor and a privilege to be here with you this morning in the land of the living. I'm giving God all the glory, the honor, and the praise. This one that is being played right now, it's Drake Taylor, and it's Have Your Way. I want you to stay tuned because there's a wonderful conversation coming up with our special guest, Nickesha Clarke, out of St. Anne, Jamaica. But right now, I want you to continue listening to Drake Taylor, I Have Your Way.
HGG Radio.
Lord, I need you to have your way. Come on, just let go and let God have his way.
Yes, God, have your way.
Yes, Jesus. Yes,
God, we worship you.
we honor your name.
God, we give you thanks.
Good morning to you, Stephanie. It's so good to see you logging on so early. Thank you for jumping on. Looking forward to the conversation that we're going to have this morning with Nickesha on balancing on purpose. Take complete control. Do whatever you gotta do. Just have your way. Have your way in me. Ride in me, God. Lord, we surrender. Have your way, have your way. Tired of doing things on my own. Please have your way. Except you build the house, we labor in vain. Have your way. Come on, all of us will just release, let go, and let God have his way. You hear that one? It says to just let go and let God have his way. You know, sometimes it's difficult. We as human beings, we have the nature to want to do things on our own. And it's from you're a child, when a child comes and, you teach them how to do something and they want to say, no, mommy, let me do it by myself. And it's the same way we operate with the Lord, but just let go and let him have his way. Hi, Jasmine. Good morning to you. You're listening from Queens. Queens in New York. Awesome. It's so good to have you with us this morning on HGG Radio. Thank you for choosing HGG Radio this morning. I hope you will be blessed and minister to. Hi, Sister Nicole, over there in Chicago. How are you doing this morning, Sister Nicole? So good to see your beautiful face. Some persons are jumping onto our WhatsApp chat and they are chiming in this morning. Remember that you can jump onto WhatsApp 82. It is 845 343 4486. That's 845 343 4486. So you can jump onto WhatsApp and say good morning. When our guest comes on, I want everybody to give our guest a wonderful, wonderful HGG radio welcome. All right. So this morning we are getting ready to talk to Nickesha out. Sorry. I know her from she was It is Nickesha Clarke. It's Nickesha Clarke out of Jamaica. And we're gonna be talking to her about balancing on purpose. Right now, you're listening to Michael Reed, and he says that we're gonna make it. I'm gonna take this one from the top.
GG Radio. It's MR. Yeah. And MB. Yes, we got to make it, yeah. We gon' make it, don't worry. Heaven is a hoop, we're shooting for it. Yes, and I know I won't miss my target. Cause we gon' make it, don't worry. We gon' make it, don't worry. Heaven is a hoop, we're shooting for it. Yes, and I know I won't miss my target. Cause we gon' make it, don't worry. We gon' make it, we gon' make it. One day we gon' take off like a spaceship. In my father's house, there are many mansions. And if it wasn't so, then he wouldn't say so. In heaven, there's a crown laid up for the righteous. This one goes out to all the fighters that try to keep us down. We keep on rising all the way to the top. We undivided. So we gon' make it, don't worry. Yeah. Heaven is a hoop, we're shooting for it. Yes, and I know I won't miss my target. Cause we gon' make it, don't worry. We gon' make it, don't worry. Heaven is a hoop, we're shooting for it. Yes, and I know I won't miss my target. Cause we gon' make it, don't worry. Yes, we got to make it. Yes, we got to make it. The feeling of fear and doubt, we got to shake it. Living for the Lord and you know we not go fake it. Walking in covenant, I know we not go break it. The fruit of the flesh, you know we have forsake it. Fruit of the spirit, where we use and replace it. Word in my heart, where me have to place it. Devil a try everything, him can just erase it. But tell them we gon' make it, don't worry. Heaven is a hoop, we're shooting for it. Yes, and I know I won't miss my target. Because we gon' make it, don't worry. We gon' make it, don't worry. Heaven is a hoop, we're shooting for it. Yes, and I know I won't miss my target. Cause we gon' make it, don't worry. Get your mind made up if it's undecided. Teamwork, let the dream work, they can't divide us. Those who work together, I admire. The Bible says iron sharpened iron. To make it, you gotta go through the trials. Like the Hebrew boys down in the fire. The way they did, that's how we survive. Always got Jehovah by your side. We gon' make it, don't worry. Heaven is a hoop, we're shooting for it. Yes, and I know I won't miss my target. Because we gon' make it, don't worry. We gon' make it, don't worry. Heaven is a hoop, we're shooting for it. Yes, and I know I won't miss my target. Cause we gon' make it, don't worry. We gon' make it like Daniel. We gon' make it like David. We gon' make it like Joseph. We gon' make it no matter what they do. Yeah. HGG Radio. It's him today are making his entry. Watch this. Say me Sakabe, me I beg you fi take it personally. Cause the gospel have to reach in every lane, every alley. Whether airport, the bus or the train station. Traveling across all nation. The gospel must be preached, the gospel have to preach. Not only in the four corners but in the streets. The gospel have to preach, the gospel must be preached. To the youths and the corners, ladies in the streets. The gospel have to preach, the gospel must be preached. Every tribe, every nation, the gospel gospel be reach, the gospel must be preached, the gospel must be preached. And every radio station better put this on repeat, because the harvest is ripe but the laborers are few. So oh Lord, I make myself available to use for your glory, to tell the greatest story about the king who died just to change his story. It's the love that he had for you and I, afford us to live through which he had to die. 3 days later fulfilled that which he prophesied, rose with all power and undenied. That's why the gospel must be preached, the gospel must be preached, not only in the four corners but in the streets. The gospel must be preached, the gospel must be preached to the youths and the corners, ladies in the streets. The gospel must be preached, the gospel must be preached. Every tribe, every nation, the gospel be reached. The gospel must be preached, the gospel must be preached. And even in the schools that the gospel be teach, because the hearts of men become desperately wicked, have no love whatsoever, no care for one another. How does it feel to take the life of your brother? Judgment day I go HGG Radio. But in the name of Jesus Christ, me I beg you go repent and be baptized for the remission of sin and a chance to enter in. Escape your suffering for the chance to meet the King. That's why the gospel have to preach. The gospel must be preached, not only in the four corners but in the streets. The gospel must be preached, the gospel must be preached to the youths and the corners, ladies in the streets. The gospel must be preached, the gospel must be preached.
Just reminding someone this morning that wherever you are, you need to reflect. Whatever you do, you need to reflect, because what? The gospel must be preached in the four, not only in the four corners. Hey, can I tell you? Guess what? Not everybody's going to go into the church and they're going to be watching your life. Hey, you see that neighbor that they watch you every Sunday when you put on your clothes and you go to church? Can I tell you, when they watch and see something happens, they're going to say, hey, send for my neighbor to come and pray for me. Why? Because they have seen you reflecting the God that you serve. So it's not about what you do in the four corners. Hey, your life is a reflection of who you are and whose you are. And every radio station better put this on repeat. You're listening to Michael Reed, and he says that the gospel must be preached. Michael is an artist right out of Edmonton here, and we always premiere some of our artists from Edmonton. And you know, it is a wonderful Friday. I'm loving what I'm seeing. I'm seeing many persons jumping on. I see persons from the radio side. I see so many persons jumping on to Facebook and to YouTube. And I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So good morning again to all our listeners and our viewers from across the nations of the world. And welcome to the Morning Flow. I'm your host, Odette Thompson. And we're getting ready for the segment Balancing on Purpose. I know you hear this one in the background. And whenever you hear this one by Craig Taylor, Purpose Can't Die, you know that we're talking that whatever purpose God has placed on your life, no matter what, it have to come to fruition. Good morning, Camille. Good morning, good morning. I love that. You know, I was talking to someone earlier this morning, and she spelled my name Odette. And then she corrected it and she said, oh, I'm so sorry, it's Odeth. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. So good morning, Camille. And good morning again to all our listeners and our viewers of HGG Radio. The time is now 10:30 a.m. here inside the studios of HGG Radio. Right here in Edmonton, it's 10:30 a.m. So you know what that means? It means that we're going to go live with our special guests right out of St. Anne, Jamaica. That's my parish. And I know some of you who are here from St. Catherine and the other parishes that jump on. And I know you don't like to hear when I talk about St. Anne, but I can't help it. I can't help it, man. It's the best parish, yeah? Can't help it. I have to talk about the best parish. But no. Big up all of the other parishes that are here this morning. I know that we have a lot of listeners in St. Catherine. And so we're giving God all the glory, the honor, and the praise for the listeners from across the nations of the world. All right, so I don't want to just pick on Jamaica because I know that we have our listeners from the US of A, from Chicago, from New Jersey, and from Queens this morning. And I know we have persons from England that are listening, and persons from across the region in Canada. All right. So, okay, let me back up a bit and not highlight Jamaica too much, but you know, you can't help it, eh? Can't help it at all. All right, we're going to be talking about purpose this morning, and I'm getting ready to bring our special guest on, and she's coming out of St. Anne, the Garden Parish of Jamaica. So, thank you again, everyone, for jumping on to uh, HGG Radio. Indeed, it is an honor and a privilege to be here with you each and every Friday when we bring on some special persons. We want to highlight them and talk about how they're doing. So purpose can't die. And you know, I talk out the whole of that one, but you hear it every Friday, don't it? You hear it every Friday. All right, Trey, don't kill me. They hear it every Friday. But purpose can't die at all. Purpose can't die. All right. So there she is, folks. There she is. Good morning. Good morning to you, Mrs. Clark.
Good morning. Hello, how are you?
I am well. I am well. I am well. Can I tell you? I was talking earlier, and I said we're gonna have our special guest, and all of a sudden I don't know if you heard me. I don't know if your
Oh, yes.
husband heard me. I hope your husband didn't. You know, it just came out, and that is to show you how long me noir. All right, people. All right. Okay. And I know you guys are way used to me by now. Like every Friday she come on, and everybody she know from Wapi Kill Philo. If you're not Jamaican, I'm sure you're not gonna understand that phrase.
That's
Guys,
right.
a long, long time. That's what it means. A long, long time. You know, but I want to welcome you this morning to HGG Radio. It is indeed an honor and a privilege to be here with you this morning.
Thank you. My pleasure being
Right.
here.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. So I said that you're coming to us live from St. Anne, Jamaica. Are you in Ochiris right now?
Oh, of course. Where else would I be? I am in Worcester.
All right.
I'm
Okay.
actually at work.
Okay. All right. Look how she multitasking. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
All right, so I see Nicola from Chicago jumping on. Good morning again, Sister Nicole. Good. Stephanie says to say good morning to you,
Good
and
morning, Stephanie.
Jasmine and Camille says welcome, Songbird. All right, so for those of
Hi,
you who
Camille.
don't know, you're gonna find out this morning. So if you know, you know, but if you don't know, you're gonna know this morning. All
Now
right,
you know.
so
You're singing, Odette. You're singing
pardon.
Kirk Franklin. If you don't know, now you know. Shout glory. That's Kirk Franklin.
Girl, can I tell you, I would be like Kirk Franklin and I would just direct. I'll just know. Okay. All right. So Amanda is jumping on and she's saying good morning. Good morning. And
Morning.
there's a Nickesha Hobson that jumped on and said good morning too. So
Hi,
wonderful. I'm
Nikki.
loving it, loving it, loving it, loving it. So I want all of my regular HGG family to just jump on and to welcome our special guest this morning. So um our special guest this morning. Remember, you can send the messages to WhatsApp, 845 or you if you're on Facebook and or YouTube, you can send it in the messages this morning. All right. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, so we're gonna jump right into it. So as I mentioned earlier, we're gonna be talking about balancing on purpose, and you guys are well familiar with our process where we invite someone on, and the segment is called balancing on purpose. And you know, we say that balancing is to be in a position where you will stand without falling on either side. That's what
Okay.
balancing is all about. You know, you're going to stand. I love it. You know, you're going to stand and without falling on either side. And when we look at the word purpose, it says that it is the reason for which something is done or created. So we're going to be talking about balancing. We're going to be talking about purpose this morning. And as I said earlier, guys, this is our special guest, Nickesha Clarke, coming out of Ocho Rios, Jamaica. All right. So awesome. All right. So, when I bring someone on, they are someone that is multifaceted and they wear many hats. And so this is why we bring them on because, hey, I see the amount of hats they're wearing and I want to say to them, like, how do you do it? Right. So Nickesha is all right. So I see some of your I see people coming. Yes, man. I love the support. This I love it. I love it. I love it. Awesome. All right. So Nickesha, as I mentioned, she's coming out of St. Anne, Jamaica. So Nickesha is the co-founder for the group Triumphant Sisters. And so I know that many of you in Jamaica, when you go to those gospel concerts, and I see them all the time on my timeline, and you go to those gospel concerts, you see the group, the Triumphant Sisters. So Nickesha is actually the co-founder of that group, and they are doing a phenomenal job of spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ. I think I mentioned some time ago to someone that I think the very first time I heard a song, and I was blown away, and the song is slipping me now. The song and they laugh at me at church because I remember the first
And
time.
you alone to get the glory, God must
Yes, that
sing. Mhm.
one, that one, that one. Can I tell you, the first time I heard that song, I heard them singing the song and I was blown away. I'm like, which song is this? It's like, what? They made it up. I didn't even know it was a song, And so
It is
I
a
look
song.
forward to them actually when they are performing. No, when they are ministering. We don't
Praise.
perform, we
Right,
minister.
right.
All right. I look forward to their ministry. And I know that that song is always coming up. So I love it when people post it on their timeline because I actually get to see some of the stuff that is happening in these concerts in Jamaica. Hello, Alyssa. Good morning to you.
I will listen.
All right. So I mentioned she's the co-founder for the group, the Triumphant Sisters. She is a praise and worship leader at her home church, and that is Bethel Tabernacle in Ocho Rios, Jamaica. She's also the marriage ministry president at her home church. She's also a Sunday school teacher. She's on the choir and she counsels the youth, and in her Monday to Friday in the morning time or that part there, I don't even know how the shifting go. She is a sales supervisor in the hospitality ministry. All right, industry. Because we're talking so much about church, I went to ministry. She's a sales
Right.
supervisor. She's a sales supervisor in the hospitality industry. All right. So I gave you all of were you keeping track, people? Were you keeping track? Were you listening to the amount of hats this young lady wears? And listen, remember, she is a wife because I made mistake with her name. So remember, she is a wife. And I see Mr. Clark jumping on and he says, "Good morning, everyone. That's my wife." So good morning to you, Mr. Clark. I like how you're
Thank you.
owning it up. All right. So she's a wife. She's a mother to two boys. She is a sister. She is a daughter. She is a friend, cousin, everything you name it. This young lady is, in addition to the hats that I told you, she's wearing. And so, when you listen to everything that they do, you're thinking to themselves, you're thinking to yourself, like, oh my goodness, I only get 24 hours in the day. How many hours did she get? So we're gonna be talking this morning to her, and actually, so I just listed some things that I found out about her. So Nickesha, I want you to tell our listeners and our viewers a little bit more about yourself. Anything that I missed out, you can go ahead and tell them.
I don't think you missed out anything, Odette. I didn't even know that. You just reminded me that there is 24 hours in a day. Because daily I just get up and live. But God is good. I am, well, I'm not going to tell you my age. I am young enough So I'm living. So you have said it all. I don't think there's much more to say in regards to me.
Okay, she said that I've said it all. And can I tell you, I bet you when she come out, she's gonna say, this was missed out and that was missed out. I know that, but she said I said it all. And I tell you, I know again, I'm going to say this. Um, I've known this young lady from our Idarni. This is another Jamaican term. People, it means that
Yes.
from she was very young. All right. I've known her for a very, very long time and I've watched her. And can I tell you, she brings a smile to my face each and every time I see her minister, each and every time I watch them on YouTube and I watch them on social media, and she brings a smile to my face because I'm just watching her. I watch her through primary school. Listen, me people, listen, it made me sound old, don't it? I know, I know. But I've watched her through primary school. I've watched her through high school. Then I watched her through college. I watched her get married. Now she have children. Lord have mercy. Isn't
That's
God
right.
good? Isn't
God
God
is
good?
awesome. An awesome God.
All right. So
Everything is about Him.
we're gonna talk about balance. We mentioned the number of hats that she wears. All right, so I'm gonna jump straight into it. All right, so when we look at balancing on purpose, what advice would you give to someone that is trying to find their purpose?
Greetings, listener, and those who are watching. God bless you. All right, for it starts, Odette, with you connecting with God. Actually, this is a Christian program, but actually, it's my life. Actually, I have learned the easy way and the hard way that I need to put God in everything I do. So, one, you have to contact God and ask Him, what is the purpose that you have for my life? It's not that He's going to answer right away, because sometimes you have to go through some real struggle to find your purpose. And the other thing, you can look at what you're really good at, and ask God to work on it for you or with you. Because He even said in His word that if you what you hand find it to do, you must do it heartily, right? And let your gift make room for you. So it does work when you know yourself and you know your gift and what you're good at. So, any young person out there, you're searching for purpose, get connected with God in everything. He says that He will be with you, He will work with you. So you need guidance from God, I should safely say.
Okay, awesome, awesome. She's saying, folks, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and then he's gonna
Yes,
direct your path. I love it. Put God
always.
first. Put him first. Because guess what? He's the one that made you. So he knows the purpose that he's outlined for you. So when you seek him, he's gonna lead you in the path that you should go. So all right, so we have the first advice there coming out of Ultra. Seek God for your purpose. Because if you remember that his ways are not always, so sometimes you might think a certain thing and that's not what God has
Right,
lined up for you. So put him
right.
first. Put him first. All right. So we've talked about a number of things that you do, but I want you to tell me, what is your biggest accomplishment?
Hmm. Ah, this might sound a little bit um not real, but the moment when I found out my weakness and I've tackled it and put it to God, and He showed me that I need to work on that, and I actually meet it and I overcome it. The last time I said to God, if you brought me out of this situation, this weakness that I'm facing, this struggle that I'm facing, I shall come out as pure gold. And all the time, I watched God operated on me. Well, I don't know if it's my accomplishment or God accomplishment, but all I know is that I've overcome and I am living. You know, sometimes when you're a child, you grow. Just like you grow in your natural life, you grow spiritually. And certain little things not really gonna bother you. But there are some times when you're in a situation and you realize that it's wow, I have I have overcome. This is not a problem anymore. But that little bit of attitude or that habit that you find hard to get over and you got over it through Christ, that's a big accomplishment I shall say this day. Yeah.
I love that. You know why I love that? I love it because you actually got to the stage where you recognize that it was an issue, it was a weakness. And for you to recognize that God did some stuff in you and you grew and you say,
Hmm.
yes. And you can look back and say, yes, I am not that person anymore. And God has
Exactly.
done a work in me and the process took place, it is an accomplishment. And oftentimes, we don't look at it that way. We don't.
Hmm.
We don't look at it that way. But for you to get to this stage, it shows maturity, maturity in the mind and spiritual maturity to say, hey, I have overcome, and that is no longer my weakness. So that's a big accomplishment. So thank
Right.
you. Thank you for being vulnerable and sharing that with us this morning. All right.
Okay.
So
God be
I want to
praised.
know with I know you sing. People, if you hear her sing, I can listen to her and her, oh my goodness, can I tell you? Can I told you guys already that I absolutely love when I go onto YouTube and I'm seeing either the concert or her ministering at church. I'm just sitting down and I'm just, ah, she has the grace of God on her life, and she has a wonderful, wonderful voice. What
God be
inspires
praised.
you? What inspires you?
Ah, above all else, I must be saved. I must reach heaven. I want to sing with the angels. I want to be a part of the choir. I have to live on it. I have to live. So my greatest inspiration is heaven. I have to make heaven my home. I'm sorry. There are lots of people in my life, old, new, young, that I have to live for. Actually, there are lots of young people who are looking up to me. My coworkers are looking at me and say, "There goes a child of God that I have to live a life that's pleasing to God." There are young people out there that say, "Nickesha, you're my role model," and sometimes you are so depressed and you are going through your own stuff, and it just reminds you that you're worth it. Trust me, you're worth it. And I have to do that in me. I can't let down my family. I can't let down my two sons. I can't let down these two persons. So if there is a gain, a heaven to gain, and if there is a gift to be given, and as a matter of fact, I don't really care about the crown and the streets of gold. I just want to see Jesus. I just want to see Jesus. Honestly, and I want to be with the angels. I don't know if I'm boring you, but I mean, this is what inspires me to continue to go on every day. That's the very life I live. It matters, and I need to carry on in Jesus' name.
Can I tell you, I'm just hearing some maturity spewing out at me here, spewing out at me here. And it takes maturity to get to that stage to say, you know what? I want to live my life so that someone can see Christ through me. That at the end of the day, I reflect my Father. At the end of the day, I
Right.
inspire someone. And I like how you put in the part where you say that even when you're going through your struggles, even when
Hmm.
you're going through your rough days, you remember that someone, and you didn't just leave it at church. You brought it in
Hmm.
and you said your coworkers, and we need to be cognizant of that.
Right.
That guess what? We're being watched. Yeah. So it's not only when we see you at church ministering, but your everyday work. And can I tell you, even persons on the street that they'll see you passing a certain day and they see and say,
Can I tell you?
I admire that young lady and I see her all the time. And yes, man. And they watch you
Yes.
come and they watch you come and and they may never say anything to you, but they watch
Mm-hmm.
you. And so I'm liking the fact that that is what inspires you to be the best version of you. You want to be the best
Exactly.
version of who God created you to be and to make heaven. You're not even care about the crown, care about the street.
I was wicked,
She just
honestly.
she just wants to see Jesus. Yes, that
um,
is that is that is a wonderful thing. I want to say good morning again to all our listeners, to all our viewers from across the nations of the world. Thank you for making it HGG Radio. This is the Morning Flow. I'm your host, Odette Thompson. We're here live with Nickesha Clarke out of Ocherius, Jamaica, for the segment Balancing on Purpose. And we're talking to her about balancing everything that she does. All right, so I see Janice jumped on. So good morning to you, Janice. It is good to have you here with us on HGG Radio. And I'm seeing Minister Souza. She's watching on Facebook. I see. Yes,
Hi,
man.
Sister Pat. Hi,
Yes,
Sister
I see.
Pat.
I see Minister Souza jumping on. So good morning to you. I also see Brother Lawrence jumping on. It is awesome. I love how the
Mhm.
support coming out in full numbers. All right. Um I'm trying to I'm trying to pronounce this name, right? But until I pronounce it, I'll tell you what the person says. She says, "Yes, Nikki, I'm depending on you. I'm depending on you from chapel days till now." All right.
Hmm.
And I want that person just write it in the chat for me, please, and thank you. All right, awesome. Right, so, I'm loving it this morning. We're talking to Nickesha Clarke out of St. Anne, Jamaica. We're talking about balancing, and she says that what inspires her is to make it in to see the Lord, and to know that she can be an inspiration to others, that others can see Christ through her living. All right. So I just love it. When you know that you're being watched and you know that it's not just about you, because sometimes we can be so selfish. But I love it.
Mhm.
That's how
No,
me, that's how me like
you
it,
have to leave.
That's how me like it.
I feel like you too.
All right, so she is doing it because she knows that she's being watched. All right, so okay, so we talked about your ministry, right? A lot of
Mhm.
persons, and I know that you're very active at church, and so a lot
Mhm.
of persons have this tendency to think that ministry is only on Sunday, right? I want I want you to talk to me about that. Is ministry only on Sundays?
Right? Ministry is when you open your eyes. That's where ministry begins. It starts from home. Your son getting up, not feeling well. You start minister to him right there. You pray for him. He's feeling depressed. They're feeling low. You encourage them. Your husband have a problem and he wants assistance. That's a different ministry by itself. You get a text from somebody, Sister Nikesha, pray for me, Sister Nikesha, blah blah blah. Sorry to say blah blah blah. That's ministry all itself. So ministry is not just on a Sunday where singing is not just a ministry, just the one ministry. Just communicating, getting together, talking to people is ministry. And can I tell you, you did mention about the hospitality ministry, but you didn't make a mistake because trust me, in the hospitality industry, I'm more than a supervisor. I become a friend, I become a mother, I become a counselor. Everything they literally used me, and I said, "Okay, fine, Lord, you have a purpose for me, so I am here until you're ready to move." So ministry is a walk, a walk as long as you are alive and wherever you go. I don't take anything for granted. Wherever I go, whatever situation that I am in is ministry. Wherever I am, suppose I'm supposed to go in the crowd now and somebody is not feeling well, I can pray that prayer of healing for that person. Somebody is nervous about an exam, about doing something, I can speak life in that person. I can do a lot of things. It's people. Ministry is people. Whosoever you encounter with, whosoever you talk with, whosoever send you a text. When you're at church, it's a ministry by itself. I know I'm singing, and I can say that when I'm singing, it's not just singing. I first have to say, God, it's not me, but it's you who is in me. And please don't let it be like self. I want somebody to be touched. If even one soul today, somebody. And when God sent that one person and said, I was touched by your ministry, it's fulfilling. It's so fulfilling. It's like your prayer is being answered right there and then. But I hope I answer your question. Ministry is every day. It's a walk as long as you open your eyes, as long as you are moving around, it's ministry. Don't take anything lightly or for granted. God be praised.
Okay, she is a walking example of what we should do. Make sure that it is a everyday thing. It is not just a Sunday thing. It's not just you put on your clothes and rush come and you go and you sing or you lead or whatever you do on a Sunday. No, it
Mhm.
is about every other day of the week. You're walking in the market. I love it. I love, you're walking in the market. Some people, can I tell you, truth be told, some persons it's just Sunday, some persons it's just Sunday or when they go to church. But I'm loving what you're saying, and that you are reflecting what inspires you because it all ties together. Because you said that what inspires you is to make it in as a child of God, but to also know that someone will be touched through you. So it ties back to
Right.
you operating on a day-to-day basis in your purpose of
Mm-hmm.
ministering. So it's not just that they're gonna see
Exactly.
you on a Sunday. If they go to church on a Sunday, they see you with that microphone in your hand. And then when they see you on a Wednesday, then you operate different. You do it day to day. And this is what pushes you to do it even more because you want someone to be touched. So, folks, I am loving this conversation. She is deep. She deep and she sound mature and she's surprising me because, as I said to you, I know her from long time, and I'm just so proud of how she's matured. I'm just
God
so
be praised.
proud. I'm just listening to her, and oh my goodness, it is just wonderful to know that you have allowed the Lord to mold you and to shape you into who you are. Because persons are gonna come up after you, and they're gonna say, "Okay, if she did it, I can do it. If she did
Yes,
it, I can do it."
definitely.
All right. So guess what? Now we talked about you being the co-founder for the Triumphant Sisters. You are a praise and
Mm-hmm.
worship leader at your church. You are a Sunday school teacher. You're on the choir. You are the president for the marriage ministry at your church. And then when in terms of talking about what you do in your job, you're a sales supervisor, and then you find time to counsel, and we don't talk about the wife part. We don't talk about the mother part. We don't talk about the friend part. So I want
Oh,
you to
God.
tell me in your 24 hours a day, I want you to tell me how you balance all of that. Because we're here talking about balance. How do you do all of what you do?
Oh, God. Balance. Uh, Pretty much, there is nothing called balance. I'm sorry. All right, let me not say nothing called balance, but how I balance, I'm not perfect, and I don't think anybody is perfect or who is looking for perfection. Um, I try to put things in order of priority. So we check the dates, we check the days, how far we are. and we put in order, okay, what must be dealt with immediately. How long do I have to reach to what you said now? Okay, the marriage ministry every month we're supposed to have a forum. Okay, then all right. So I need to send in my proposal from the beginning of the month to get it approved, and then work on that. I wake up every day. You have to show your children affection, your husband affection. And then I go to work. It's still the same. Everything that happens is order of priority. What do I have to deal with now? What needs to be dealt with right now? Okay, can this be? What next do I have to do? Can this wait until tomorrow? Do I? You get what I'm saying? So it's an order of priority. I would say you have to balance things out, and at the same time, everything just have to work. And on me, Odette, it's just God. It's just God. Can't
And
get anything.
guess what your husband just did? Your husband just added, and currently a student. You left off.
Oh Jesus.
Yes, your husband just put that part in. So yes,
You see
yes.
why you have people around you to remind you of these things. Yes. Oh my God. I should never have leave this part out. My husband is a big supporter. If I talk to him about certain things, okay, what do you think about this? Okay, what do you think? What do you want? All right, I'm with you. He's with me in everything. So sometimes I even get angry. I said, you can't just choose. Just choose from me now. No, he supports me in everything that I do. I don't think God could have given me another man. That man keep me balanced. I should say he keeps me balanced. He reminds me of things that I have to do. I have an exam coming up. I need to study. He takes care of the most part of my son's duties, getting them ready to school, cooking food, yes, and organizing most stuff. I don't need another husband like that husband. Truth be told, because some men just allow women to do everything. A woman has to cook, a woman has to clean, a woman has to do everything. But my husband works with me. He keeps me balanced.
I absolutely love it. I'm like thinking, oh, look at that. Teamwork make the dream work. All right.
Exactly.
All right. I love it. And he's chiming in, he says, what also having an understanding husband who supports her. So I am loving it. You prioritize. And that's what a lot of people don't understand, that when you have many things doing, it's not that you just don't get up one day and say, okay, I'm gonna do this today, I'm gonna do that today. You have to prioritize and say, okay, what is the most important thing here to be done now? And I love
Right.
the fact that you have the
Exactly.
support of your husband, and he'll remind you to study, girl. I love the fact that he's there to balance it out. So when we talked about balancing, and we said that it is to be in a position where you don't fall on either side. So when he sees you going too much on this side, I guess he props you.
Hmm.
And so
Yes.
I like how you two work together. And I know that you're both in ministry together because he's a part of the group.
Musician, the brand. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
He
a
plays
part.
the keyboard.
He plays in the group. So you see him at home, and you see him at practice, and you see him when you all go out to minister. All right, so this is the team, eh? This is the team. So I love the fact that you guys work together and you prioritize. And if you have something doing, then he will pull up the slacks in terms of where the kids are concerned and the home is concerned. And it's awesome to know that you have that in your partner to help you balance out. Because
Mhm.
can I tell you, we are watching you on this side, and if it is not said, then we wouldn't know. We'd think that you're a superwoman over here. So, right? You
Nothing
know,
like that.
but you have a support system, and that is just wonderful. And so, folks, you have to understand that when you are multifaceted, you have to have a good support system. You can't do it alone. No man is an island, right? No man is an island.
Hmm.
And what she said, she prioritize. you prioritize and put whatever needs to go first. You deal with that first. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it.
If
All
I
right,
if I could drop this one in on it,
go ahead.
you said the people around you make a difference in your life. You can no man is an island, no one stands alone unless they are really alone. I can say like how I said, my husband balanced me at home. There are some persons in my life that really looks out. So I can call and maybe my mom, I can call her Auntie Kim to keep the children. Wednesday gone was our anniversary. And we could call them and say, you know what, can you keep the kids for us? So the people around you really make your life a difference. I'm at work now and I have persons, can tell me, okay, I'm gonna in a meeting, can you look out for me and all of this. So people around you, you have to appreciate them because they don't have to say yes. So they keep you balanced as well. Yeah.
Awesome. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And yes, when you have a good support system, it makes it even easier. It makes it even
Hmm.
easier that you can function at your full capacity, right? I don't know why your
Yeah.
husband troubling me today, I don't know why your husband
What am I
troubling you.
saying now?
Listen, I was planning to say something, Sir Clark. All right. Just to add, let me read what he says. Just to add, we celebrated our 15-year wedding anniversary. So happy anniversary to you.
Thank you.
I was going to say
Thank you
that,
so
I
much.
was going to say that. I was going to say it, but yes. You see the support. Wow, you can't beat this at all. At all. All right, and I'm seeing Olivine jumping on, and she says that it's always great to have a supportive spouse. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Mhm.
You know, when they see that there is purpose on you and they help you to fulfill what God has mantled you with, it's just always the better for everybody else that watches your
Exactly.
life. So thank you, Sir Ian. Thank you. All right. So what are you not good at?
I'm not good at waiting. I'm very impatient, and and each time I try to wait, it's like I have to wait. For example, traveling in an airport, so you have to wait the long line. You have to wait on the plane to ready, and you have to just wait. Waiting on people, waiting on things to be done. It's so bad that I am so impatient that if you don't help me do something right away, I'm going to do it myself. So it's a weakness even at work. They said, okay, then I hear somebody say, Nikisha, what is your weakness? What you think Nikisha weakness is? And they would say, she don't delegate. It's not like I don't delegate. It's just that persons take too long to do what I ask them to do. So I have to get it done right away. So I'm not good at waiting. I'm not good at waiting. And maybe my husband can say it because, for example, Sister Odette, I am making a garden and I put a little bit of dirt and he would say, stop, don't, I'll do it for you. And okay, a week passed. I'm sorry, honey. I gotta expose you a little bit. A week passed, and then don't put in the dirt. I'm gonna do it myself. And I started to do it. In the feel bad. And then when I feel bad, I just stop. And I'm waiting for him to finish it off. So I'm that impatient. I'm working on it, Working on it.
You know what?
Mhm.
I was going to say something, but I'm glad that you said that you're working on it. I'm glad that you said that you're working on it because leave the man, let the man do the thing, man. you know, Sir Clark, you hear me taking up for you this morning? All right, but I do understand, and I think
Mhm.
it's just part of your nature. And but you know
Mhm.
that when you do that, you can actually take on too much, right? So
Yeah. Yes.
yeah,
So
you
true.
you'll take on too much because you're looking at it like, okay, I told them to do this, and it's not yet done. But what you can do is just set a timeline to say, okay, I told them to do this, and I need it to be done within a week. Don't do anything for the week. When you see if it's still there
Okay.
not done, then you can say something, but don't do anything. Just say something at the end of the week if it's not
All
yet
right.
done, right? Because can I
Okay.
tell you, you want you to be rested, right? Now, when you come to
It's
minister,
true.
right? Yeah, right. So, all right. So we're going to work on that weakness with you, right?
And the Lord knows it's true because sometimes when I pray to God and it take long, we can't do anything about that. That's one thing I can't do anything about. I have to wait on the Lord to come true.
Okay. Well, I like that you have to wait on the Lord. So let's transfer that patience over into the natural with everybody else that you deal with, everybody else that you interact with, just transferred. I see somebody jumping on what Ian Yardy Borland. He jumped on and him said, talk up the things. I guess when you're talking about what your husband was doing, talk up the things. All right. So that's not what she's not good at waiting. So
Waiting.
I'm going to say to her team, I'm going to say to her community this morning, her support system, just in case y'all didn't know, she said it out loud today. So we now know her weakness. So we're going to all come together and we're going to help her get over this
Yeah.
need to do it herself,
All
this
right.
need to not delegate.
It's bad. Very bad.
All right. So, and I see that we have many persons watching on YouTube and Facebook, and not to mention how many persons are on the radio side of things. So, all right. So, I know her support system is here. So, y'all hear it
Thank you.
right here on HGG Radio. So, we need to help Sister Nickesha that when we
Yes,
see
please.
her delegating something and she come back 2 days time, just remind her, be patient, my sister. Be patient. All right, that's what we're going to do because we're going to get her into the habit of delegating, and so it is. Okay, well done. I'm reading. Persons are just chiming in here. All right. Okay. Was away from my computer. Well done. Well done. God, good to highlight the faithful dedication and the many hats of my songbird. Okay. That's from Sister Camille. All right. So yes, the many hats. We do know we're hearing many, many hats, but we're gonna help you to get over that hurdle so that you don't get burnt out. Amen.
Thank you.
All
Amen.
right. I'm loving what I'm hearing. I'm loving that there's a support system. I'm loving that you prioritize. I'm loving the fact that you put God first and that you minister right through the week. It's not just a Sunday thing. That is basically a summary of everything that we've talked about up to this point. And I'm just watching the numbers. Again, thank you all for coming on this morning. This is HGG Radio. If you have not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, jump on to HGG Radio and subscribe to the channel. And if you have not yet downloaded the app, I want you to go to your Play Store, whether Apple device or the Android, and you're going to download the app, the HGG Radio app. We're here 24 hours a day. Well, I'm not here 24 hours a day, but it's a 24-hour station. And so it's gospel, gospel, gospel right through. Right. So we have some wonderful, wonderful programs here. And so I want you to go on, download the app so that you can stay connected with HGG Radio. All right. So, I always leave this question for last when you're nice and comfortable and and you're relaxed and you're going to tell me what is your favorite food? What's your favorite food?
Oh my God. What are you sure that's the last question? I feel like I only did five. All right, let me answer your last question. All right, my favorite food is the one that I want at the moment. Let me tell you how that works. It depends on the situation. Right now in the office, Like, if I'm not doing anything, I tell everybody if I'm not sleeping, I must be eating. If I'm not busy or sleeping, I must be eating. So sometimes I like my favorite is Cadbury chocolate. It has to be whole nut. That's chocolate. If it's a family dinner, if we go out, me, I'm going to buy pasta, shrimp pasta. And if it's at my mom's and she asks me what should I cook for dinner, my favorite is ribs. Oh God, that is so good right now. I'm not even there, but I love ribs. Yeah. So it depends on the moment. And my favorite fruit is watermelon. Can I stop now? Why you ask my favorite food? Like, just send me some food.
But you know why I'm cracking up? I'm cracking up because your husband is a part of this conversation because he just jumped in and he said, "We're not fussy about food." So I don't know.
Okay.
We're not fussy about food. He just jumped on and said that.
Yeah. Well,
Okay, so
that's true.
all right, so
But
folks,
as I said, it depends on the moment.
it depends on the moment. All right, so folks, all right,
Hmm.
so all the young people that she counsels so well. And, one day, you're gonna see her, you might run into her. I want you to go and buy that Cadbury chocolate and keep it
Hmm.
in case you see Sister Nickesha, because you heard it here that she likes the Cadbury chocolate. All right? You're
Yay.
like,
Whole
yes.
nut, whole nut, whole nut.
Whole nut, the one with the whole nut, all right? So just in case you see Sister Nikisha, all right, and you wanna thank her, thank her with chocolate. Thank her with chocolate.
That's
All right?
right.
All
That's
right. So
right.
um all right, so guess what? You're right. You're right. We're having such a good time. It's not all the questions I ask you at all.
Oh man. I thought.
All right, so I'm gonna quickly ask you. All right, what is it that you now know that you wish you had known earlier?
Oh, that question.
That question.
I was thinking about it in the other day. You know what I think? If I had known the truth that listening would make me a better person, I would I would listen. That makes sense. Um, I'm not perfect, as I said before. I give a little trouble when I was younger. My mother used to say, "Don't do this, don't do that," and then when I became an adult, I actually tell her some because I see what she was saying makes sense and certain things. So if I had known how to listen, I would have listened. But um, everything that happens in life happens for a purpose, back to purpose. So whatever struggles gone through, make it stay, make the life stay how it is. Because how can you grow if you don't go over those struggles? How can you say thanks? How can you sing? How can I say thanks for the things you have done for me? Things so undeserved, yet you came to prove your love for me. If you have not gone through that moment where you can actually say, God, thank you. I should have hated my brother. I should have hated my sister for all the wrong they have done me. But you have given me this heart of compassion to forgive them. How can I say thanks? I have to have something to praise God for. So make it stay. Regret. I only wish I knew how to listen. Maybe my life would have been better. I may be perfect, but God make it work out that way that I don't know. I didn't know how to listen. So now I am grateful. You get me? I am grateful for everything. So I can't change anything. So God be praised for everything.
I like that. I like that. Sometimes in hindsight, we look back and we are saying to ourselves, if only when they say don't go down that road, if only I had listened,
Mhm.
if only I had listened. And you look and you think to yourself, okay, maybe this wouldn't have happened, it wouldn't have happened. But at the end of the day, you're at this place right now where you're looking back, but even though you're thinking to yourself that, you wish you had listened, the fact that you went through all of what you went through, it has made you into who you are. So
Exactly.
you're grateful for the process, but going forward, you're in a better space that you will listen now and you will be
Right.
guided accordingly, right? So I think all
Right.
things work together for good. All things work together for
Yes,
good, so
definitely.
that is wonderful. But young people, listen, can I tell you, see, when she's doing the counseling, listen to her. All right, listen to her. Listen to her. All right, just listen to her. She tell you don't go down that path. Don't go down that path. There's a reason why she telling you don't go down that path. All right,
It's true.
so you can be grateful for not going through some of the stuff that she went through, some of the stuff that some of us went through. Right, but we
Right.
luckily we can look back and be grateful. Right, so thank you so much for coming on. I am loving the fact that our listeners and our viewers were so active. They were so active today. I love your support system. Everybody jumped on and they were interacting. I saw them sending messages in the chat. That's awesome. And I'm looking from the radio side of things. I am seeing the numbers shooting up. And so we have listeners from across the nations of the world. We have Canada, we have Jamaica, we have the US of A, we have the UK. Mighty, mighty God, you are all across the nations of the world this morning. And
Oh my
so
God.
I thank you so much for coming on, and to all the listeners and to all the viewers of HGG Radio, this segment that is called Balancing on Purpose. I know you guys have gotten accustomed to every Friday. Can I tell you, I look forward to my Fridays with this conversation. So I thank you again, Nickesha, for coming on. And I'm going to give you 3 minutes. I'm going to give you 3 minutes to wrap up with our listeners and our viewers to just what? Okay, I have to be reading it because I see things coming in. All right. So Amanda says, all right. So, okay, it is call me creative underscore Mel. All right. Says thumbs up to Auntie Bev. All right. And then Amanda says, proud of you, Nikki girl. And Amanda also says, we shall remain triumphant in overcoming strongholds through our
Yes.
glorious God. All right.
Yes.
Amen. All right. So I want you to give us a 3 minute wrap up. We've just talked about balancing on purpose. Go ahead.
All right, listeners, fans, God bless you. All right, what can I say? To God be the glory, great things He has done. I'm not a big speech person. I speak when you talk to me. I listen more, but I can tell you that one day at a time, sweet Jesus. Take it one day at a time. In everything you do, put God first. He's the best thing that ever happened to me. And if I'm going to tell somebody anything, I'm going to tell you all I know is Jesus because he works for me and he can work for you. So in everything that you're doing, give thanks. Give thanks without reservation. Thank the person who takes up a plate for you. Thank the person who does send you a word of encouragement. Thank the person when they don't even have anything to say. Just what, I'm thankful for your friendship. I'm thankful for being in your life. Thank everybody. So with that, I want to say thanks to everyone who knows me, near and far, triumphant sisters, Bethel family. Odette, I love you. I'm so proud of you, you see, as I remember our struggles back in the days. And I'm so proud of you. You have grown. Phenomenal woman. Yes, God is awesome. How much minutes I have? 1 more minute? Maybe I can do a acapella. How can I say thanks for the things you have done for me? Things so undeserved, yet you came to prove your love for me. The voices of a million angels. Alright, we can't go no further this because I'm in the office and I can't shout out loud. To God be the glory. To God be the glory. To God be the glory for the things He has done. I want to live my life to be pleasing to Him. And if I should gain any praise, let it be to Calvary. Because with His blood He has saved me. And I show forth His grace, show forth Him in me, all over me. And that's what I live by. So I can encourage everyone today that let Jesus be the center, the front, the back, everything about you needs to be about God. God bless you today in Jesus' name.
God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. I was just sitting here wanting you to go on with that song. Folks, I told you about it,
I started too high.
It's not too high.
Yes, I started too
I just love hearing her sing. I'm just
high.
proud of the woman that she has become. And she just mentioned we are come from far. Yes. And I'm just
Mhm.
proud of the woman that she's become. And, for all the young people that have her in your lives, you have a wonderful example of someone that has lived through the teenage years, that has grown, and look at her now.
Mhm.
So if you just allow God to lead, if you just
Oh
allow
God.
God to mold you, if you just stay still in his hand, you're gonna be so surprised to see the product that comes out at the end. So just stay fast
Right.
and hold on to the unchangeable hand of God. Thank you so much, Nikisha, for coming on. Thank you to all our listeners. Thank you to all our viewers. Stephanie says,
Thank
wow,
you.
awesome voice. I love it. Can I tell you, Stephanie? Listen, me man, if you never hear her before, can I tell you? I just love hearing her. So I pray that God will continue blessing your voice and blessing your tribe as they continue to support you to wear the multiple hats that you wear, because we're looking forward to hearing more from you, to seeing phenomenal things happening in your life. And thank you, Ian, for being such a wonderful and supportive husband.
Support.
Right? So thank you, Sir Ian. Hats off to you. Hats off to you. So I suspect that a lot of the husbands are going to say, and Lord, the man are sure we up, but you know what? Thank you. All right. So, thank you again to all our listeners from across the nations of the world. Thank you, Nikisha. I know that you're at work. And so I thank you for
Mhm.
sacrificing some time, jumping onto HGG Radio and talking to us today about balancing on purpose. All right. So, guys, I'm going to stay with you for a little bit, and then I'm going to come off of Facebook and jump back onto the radio. But thank you all.
Bye.
Ian says, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
But thank you so much. Thank you so much for making it this morning. And thank you to the staff that you work with that afforded you the opportunity. You see, when you
Thank
work
you,
with,
my lovey. I love
when
you.
you work with
I love
people, right? So, Sister Carly is saying,
you.
wonderful segment. To God be the glory. I love her spirit. And yeah, she have dimply, Sister Carly says, I love her spirit and continue to smile. God bless
Thank
you both,
you.
Pastor Odette and Sister Nikisha. Sister Stephanie says, bless you, Pastor Thompson. God bless you all. Yes. So God bless you. And thank you again for coming on to HDG Radio. I truly
My
appreciate it.
pleasure.
Love you and continue to shine, girl.
Thank you. Love y'all. Yeesh, I'm out of here.
Okay.
Thank you, Lord. They wrote me off. They thought I would die. They tried to bury me while I was alive.
You know, I want to say to someone this morning that whatever you are going through, you're trying to find your purpose and you have not yet found it. Go to the maker, go to the manufacturer, go back to the Lord and let him tell you what he made you for, what purpose he's placed you on this earth to accomplish, to fulfill. And whatever purpose it is, can I tell you, it will not die. It is just there to come forth. So go back to him.
No purpose, can I die? They thought I was hopeless, but I survived. I'm still alive. I'm still alive. I'm still alive. I'm still alive. Purpose can't die. 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 Mistreated and wounded. I got frustrated. You thought I'd die, but I am anointed. I am royalty. So don't you mess with me. I've got the authority that he has given. I'm still alive. I am still alive.
I'm still alive.
Thank you, Jesus.
Purpose can't die.
No, 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 no.
Purpose can't die. Yeah.
Come on, sing, Kaza.
Stronger, much wiser. Feel the anointing. Young you purpose. Young you purpose. Young you purpose.
You wrote me off. You thought I would die.
See, it doesn't matter how and who wrote you off. They are not the ones that's in charge of your destiny.
Yes, I'm still alive. Yes, I'm still alive.
I often talk about the story about the donkey that fell in the hole. And guess what? The owner decided that he wasn't going to take him up.
Yes, I have purpose, yeah, and I shall not die. I refuse to die.
He called some of his neighbors and he said, you know what? I'm just going to bury this donkey. I cannot be bothered. I'm just going to bury him in the hole. And they started throwing dirt on him. And the donkey was there with the dirt coming down on him in the hole. But what he did was to just shake the dirt off of his back. Each and every time the dirt was thrown down there on him, he shook it off. And so with each pile of dirt, he just started to stomp on it and it became a step. And at the end of the day, he was able to walk out of that hole with all of the dirt that they were throwing on him. Purpose can't die. We talked this morning to Nickesha Clarke and we talked about balancing on purpose. And I want to encourage someone this morning, this afternoon, wherever you're listening from, that there is purpose in you. And you can't afford to have it remain dormant. You can't afford to not have it come to fulfillment and to fruition. Go back to the maker. Let it be stirred up in you. Let the gift be stirred up in you that you can come forth and blossom and bring forth fruit in your season. All right, this is the last one I'm playing for Facebook and for YouTube. This is Michael Reed again. And he says, you must live again. All ye dry bones, live again.
Said your dry bones can live again. Live again.
GG Radio.
John 11:25, Jesus said, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. My friend, there is no sin that God's grace is not able to afford. Cause Jesus died to set you free. Come to the cross and you will see that there is room for you and me. If you believe, then you will receive, and your dry bones can live again. Live again, live again. Your dry bones can live again. Live again, though they were dead. Said there is hope for you to live again, yeah, again, yeah. Said your dry bones can live again, live again. We speak to every dead thing in your life and so lots of rust comfort. But that's when the way full up of comfort. Put Jesus first in your life, him can comfort. Hold on, let me fix the contour. So you stop read your Bible, Lazarus comfort. With just you start idle, Lazarus comfort. You stop fast and pray, Lazarus comfort. From church you want stay, Lazarus comfort. And if you're now witness, because you lose your interest, Lazarus feel like comfort. Your life in distress, Lazarus to Jesus, you sin you better confess. So your dry bones can live again, live again, live again. Your dry bones can live again, live again. Though they were dead, said there is hope for you to live again, yeah, again, yeah. Said your dry bones can live again, live again. Well on, but you got to speak life, get up and speak life. Positive words, please put over your life. Faith of in you, no need for sight. Where the blind can see evil without light. Cause if you have faith like a mustard seed, when mountain move, then a mustard quit. Because I OMG as a Jesus sweet. And hide and seek, make the whole world see. Say your dry bones can live again, live again, live again. Your dry bones can live again, live again. Though they were dead, said there is hope for you to live again, yeah, again, yeah. Said your dry bones can live again, live again. Because Jesus died to set you free. Come to the cross and you will see that there is room for you and me. If you believe, then you receive, and your dry bones can live again, live again, live again. John 11:25, Jesus said, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. My friend.
All right, so we're wrapping up here. It is 11:38 inside the studios of HGG Radio. And I want to remind someone that you can live again. It doesn't matter how far down you are, you can live again. Dry bones. When the prophet was asked, can these bones live? All right, so we're going to sign off from Facebook. We're going to be signing off from YouTube. And I want to thank all our listeners. I want to thank all our viewers from across the nations of the world. I really do appreciate you jumping on to the segment, Balancing on Purpose. We had a wonderful guest this morning in the person of Nickesha Clarke, and she talked about balancing. Have a great weekend to you too, Stephanie. Thank you so much. So for all the viewers, have a wonderful weekend. And if you want to stay with us, you can jump onto the HGG Radio app, where we will continue with the morning flow. We still have about half an hour to go. And so you can continue with us on the radio side of things. But I want to thank you all for making it HGG Radio this morning. Indeed, it was an honor. Indeed, it was a privilege being here with you this morning. And I pray that the blessings of the Lord will find and keep you, locate you in all your ways. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, Facebook. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend to you on YouTube.